Some monarch butterflies. Here it is, fall 2016, and got a couple monarchs. Pretty cool. I hadn't seen them the year before. They got away before I saw them. Focus there, bud. It's a very pretty caterpillar. The fall 2016 garden's going pretty good. The backyard, I don't get hardly any sun, especially here at the end, so everything takes a long time. But everything's come together. The champion collards, they did decent. I did 2 different collards just to really see the difference, and I can tell a huge difference. The Georgia collards over here just outperformed the champion collards tremendously. I mean, they're probably twice as much, if not more, 3 times as much foliage on them. So I need to get those harvested and get them in the freezer. The broccoli is just starting to show heads. It just shows how little sun I get back here. You know, any of these plants that require a little more energy for, you know, fruits or flowers like the broccoli, they just take forever. I end up getting a harvest, you know, right before winter, but they're a little slow this year. I think my woods have just grown up more in the backyard and shaded out the backyard even more. But the collard tree is still going. I'll be able to. I was debating on using that or planting that again next year, and I think I will. But I'll just keep this one going, staked up, and put a blanket or towel over it or plastic over it if it gets too cold to see if it helps. I'm not going to try to go out of my way to save it, but if it makes it through the winter time, I'll keep it. The cilantro popped up. I planted in a couple places. The lettuce never came up. I just never had enough sunlight for the lettuce, I guess. That seed just didn't want to take. It took in the front yard though. I've got where my peppers were. I've got a bunch of bok choy and lettuce growing up there, and they did really well. But the collards did great back here. This just goes to show how well certain leafy green plants do, even in a very limited sun. I mean, you get a bunch of growth even without hardly any sun. The Georgia collards especially. I mean, look at these things. So if you've got a shaded backyard and you're looking for some greens or some vegetables to grow, give the Georgia collards a try. The broccoli, on the other hand, that's just me just goofing around and trying it. I get some little flowerets here and there, but it's really not worth it. The cilantro did well. It just took forever. I just put in some walking onions. Only about 5, and they're little teeny ones. I ordered them online, and I was pretty disappointed with what I got for the money. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. But I just planted a couple in this bed, and hopefully they'll take. I planted a couple cold and hardy greens in here, and they're supposed to be perennials. I forgot the name of them. Maybe mache and no, it wasn't mache. It was, I don't know. I can't remember what they were, but they were supposed to be edible cold weather greens. So we'll see how they do. And they're supposed to be relatively shade tolerant, so we'll see. The red vein sorrel popped back up after getting beat down in the summer heat. And this bed it's getting limited with the sun now, but the backside in the spring is what gets the sun, and that's where I planted a couple asparagus just to do a test run. My neighbor gave me a couple that he had extra, and it ended up working well. So I'm going to extend the asparagus in this perennial bed that I'm trying to create here for half this bed on this upper portion to take advantage of the sun I get there. Slowly but surely, I think I'm trying to get a perennial bed here. The sunchokes, they're laying in. And if you notice, I don't have any trellises anymore. The hurricane clobbered us here in North Carolina, and there's the remaining of them. Ripped them all apart, threw my Malabar spinach down, the tomatoes down, and I ripped it all out. It was a mess. It was pretty depressing, but whatever. Win some, you lose some. The red boar kale's doing good. I need to get some garlic in here. I'm gonna plant some garlic in this half of the bed here. It's just been relatively warm fall here, so I was really hesitant to get those walking onions and the garlic out. I mean, you see some of this garlic that I've left in the ground from last year, or from the spring. It's popping up and it's growing pretty big. That's why I'm always a little hesitant about getting my garlic in the ground too early, because it will grow so big in the fall before it gets dormant. But I don't think it's an issue either way. But either way, I've got some cloves I kept from the spring. I'm gonna put in the ground. I'll probably try to get them in the ground this weekend. But the Egyptian spinach, I was worried that it wasn't gonna put enough fruit off, because I was wanting to pickle some of these seed pods. You can see it's starting to get the seed pods on here. So I'm gonna take all these little seed pods and just pickle them, just cold refrigeration in the refrigerator. Just put them some vinegar and spices and take advantage of those. I've got plenty of seeds from last year saved still, so that's a good way to use your Egyptian spinach, not just the leaves but also the pods. And that's about it. I don't get quite a big harvest off my fall time garden, but it's enough for what I need. It gives me some extra supplemental greens, especially collards. I need to get a little bit better with my timing on my lettuce. I think I just need to. It's really tough here in North Carolina because it's so hot in summer, and then it cools down and it goes to fall, winter pretty quick. And that's when your lettuce and greens really thrive is in that transition period, which we have a short transition period. Likes to go from hot to cold pretty quick. But I'll get it eventually. The front yard did well, so I'm not going to complain. That's about it. Peace out.